Oh yeah, sexy biscuits. Nice.
Long boys blues, 1975. A YouTuber's on the rise. Reviewing games late at night and sometimes friends used to bug. Long boys blues, 1975.
Hey YouTube, Lumpers Post 1975 and welcome to another product overview. In this video we'll be taking a look at this, the True Blue Mini Genesis Ultra Drive memory stick. Plug and play-ish, not as plug and play as the PlayStation ones, but we'll get to that anyway. So obviously if you're familiar with my channel, you're familiar with the videos I've done on these True Blue memory sticks, and I think they're absolutely fantastic. Now this one promises the entire library of games, which to me is an absolute no-brainer. It's 20 to 25 quid. Granted, I didn't pay for mine, but I think that's absolutely fantastic value. Obviously there are other hacks out there, and there's a new one coming up that's completely and utterly free, and is there Luna out, and people are saying, well, why would you pay for it when you can do it that way yourself for free? Again, while the images aren't as big as PlayStation games, I think it's self-explanatory. You don't have to dick around trying to find all the ROMs and anything else you would need to make it look nice and shiny in the menu screens. Now, what did I mean when I said it's not entirely plug and play? It does involve a little bit of hacking, but it's super easy, and all the tools are out there to make it a very, very simple process. Well, basically, I'll show you what's in the box. Much like other True Blue Minis, you get a memory stick, you get a lead. This is really, really, really important. Do not lose this, because not only does this let you install the hack and the drivers needed, it's how you can return it to factory default, which is brilliant. So if you ever want to sell it and stuff like that, you can reverse it. Why you would want to sell such a beautiful, wonderful machine is beyond me. You get your memory stick, which looks exactly the same as any other True Blue Mini. It's a blue memory stick, and you get another USB hub if you want to play more than one player. It's funny, I said at the start of this process of doing these True Blue Mini videos that awesome, you get a USB hub, can never have too many of them. Now I have too many of them. This is my fourth one, but that's a small first world problem to complain about. But yeah, there you go. It's your True Blue Mini. Now, I've already hacked it. Oh, it comes with a set of instructions as well. So when people worry about, you know, hacking it and stuff like that, you really don't have to, because that's all you need to know. It's even in the application once you've downloaded, which I'll show you how to do it step by step. But yeah, it's hardly the complete work of Shakespeare. So there we go. Now, what you do is you plug your Megadrive. Well, first of all, you go to their website and you download something called the Genesis Flasher. Awkward, sounds like Pee Wee Herman in the 90s, and you download the drivers, which I just left on my desktop. Then you plug this into your Megadrive Mini, and you make sure it's set to off. Then you plug it into your computer when the app is open, and you hold reset, and then you turn the units on. The light will come on because you're powering up off the PC, obviously, and then you wait, keep it pressed for 10 seconds, and then it recognizes the device, excuse me, and then you just go through the steps where basically you install drivers and then you flash the unit. Takes about 2 minutes, and then you just turn it off, unplug it, set it up as normal, plug in the memory stick into port 1, plug in the pad into port 2, make sure it's all, that's a no-brainer, I know that, but make sure it's all off when you plug in the stick and stuff like that, because I don't know what it does, but I don't plan on finding out in case it breaks it. Anyway, I've already hacked it. I can't be asked to unhack it and then hack it again for the purpose of this video, because, well, I couldn't be asked, I'm a lazy bastard, but I will show you what it looks like to give you some indication of how incredibly simple it is. So as I said, this is super straightforward. I'm not going to actually run through the process because I've just done it and I don't want to risk anything going wrong, not that it would, but basically you download the True Blue Flasher Genesis, which you download from their official website, which they list in the instructions that come with the units, and it looks like this. And then what you do from the same website is you download, where is it? Here, USB driver. It's nothing too exciting. Looks like this in here. Don't worry about that because you just leave it as it is in the folder. Then install driver to computer. You click this here. I'm not going to do it, as I said, for obvious reasons. And then once you've done that, you plug in your Mini Megadrive with the lead. It's got to be off. Got to be off, but the lead that comes with it won't, as it says everywhere, won't work with your regular lead or any other lead. And then you hold down reset and you turn it on, the light goes on, and you hold it for 10 seconds. And once you've held it for 10 seconds, this becomes pressable here, and you press this here, install hack, and then this bar here, which is constantly going up, will go up incredibly slowly. Then it kind of stall around about here, and you'll shit your pants if you're like me and super paranoid. Then it goes right up to the top there, and then there you go. And this is once you've installed it. This, you can't see, it's grayed out. It allows you to uninstall the hack. So it backs it up, and you can go back to the original, layout anytime you want to. Which, excuse me, to be perfectly honest, you don't really need to or worry about, because it's still present in the the unit when you fire it up through the menu settings. I'll show you that in a minute. But yes, seriously, it's super easy. So there you go. That's the process, Pretty sweet, pretty straightforward, absolutely nothing to worry about. I don't know why I'm still holding that. When people say like, oh, but you have to do a hack, it should just be plug and play out of the box. Well, it's hardly a deal breaker, and also I'm wondering that's to do with the fact that, to my knowledge, when you use one of these sticks on the PlayStation, the hack lives on the stick, whereas with the Megadrive Mini, you actually have to hack the unit. I don't know, but I hardly found that a big problem or, a deal breaker whatsoever. So then it's done and dusted. Once you turn it on with the stick in, you get access to all these ROMs. There are a few kind of small issues that aren't really a problem, but they are in there, so I want to touch upon them. I know I can do warts and all with this overview, but basically I'm going to show you what it looks like when you power it up. So when you boot it up, as you can see, it pretty much looks to be the Genesis Mini factory settings when it comes to games and display. It does take a few seconds to boot up, nothing to worry about. I just assume it's because it's reading off a stick and not the internal memory. If you press B, spine and stuff like that, so this is pretty much as it is out the box. But what you want to do is, well, first of all, what you want to do is go to settings, go to screen settings, leave it on 4:9 because I'm a purist. Back, get rid of wallpaper settings because why? There are abominations. Back, B, but as you're starting to see that pretty much all the menu settings are as they would be. Go press C and we go into, again, slight pause because it's loading off a memory stick, but this is your main screen, with each one of these being an option for a chunk of games, because obviously you can only display a certain amount per screen. I'm guessing that's the limits of the actual hardware, how it was built. So it's like, what, 100-ish? Kind of around, it varies, doesn't it? But yeah, and if you look at the bottom, it says 10 Super Jogos to Cascade. So what it's basically saying is, in the first one, that's games that start with numbers, and then it goes on to C, and then it goes to C to E, etc, 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 etc. So this is cool because there you can go to default Genesis, or you can go to Mega Drive. There you go. But we're going to go back because that does work. However, if you click on these, it doesn't. It will just go through the motions and come back to Genesis. So I'm not entirely sure why it does that. I'm assuming again, this is just an overview, correct me on anything I'm wrong, and they're just going for, what people, I guess, Westerners would want, which would be Genesis and Mega Drive. So anyway, we go back to C. So, I mean, that's a cool option. You got that and that, but I would have liked that and that. Let's go to a game. We're just going to look at a couple of games. There we go. Top Pro Golf, Zoop. Oh, I remember Zoop. Everyone loved it apart from me. I thought it was shite. So yeah, you'd be pretty much just navigating as you would it out of the box. There's a problem with Truxton. I'll show you that. I also believe there might be other games. I know Turtles is one that would have that problem, but yeah. I mean, I know full game list or not, but you could have scrubbed that one. You really could. What else we got in here? Well, I don't know why I'm surprised every time I see a game. Ooh, WrestleMania arcade game, because it's going to be everything. Right, there we go. Displays all the information, gives you a nice little, picture of the cover. It's basically as it was, just with a shitload of more games, which is really cool. I thought it was a really good port, by the way. I had it on the PlayStation. It wasn't until a few years ago that I played the Megadrive version and found out it was amazing. Slum. Who remembers the dodgy WWF album that came out? Maybe it was just me. No, sounds alright to me. But this game never had particularly good speech or sound anyway, but why wouldn't you like a wrestling game done like Mortal Kombat? How do you do your tombstone things? Underrated gem, this is on the Megadrive. Oh, get off. That hurts, that's my hair. Right, and then you would leave the game, would pause, but you would leave the game in the exact same way you normally do. Unfortunately, I don't have a 6-button pad. I should get one, I only have a 3-button pad, so I have to press reset. But it gives you all your options and stuff like that. Return to main menu, or return to main menu, yeah. So yeah, it's just functioning as it should be. You just have more games and slight pauses in the loads. Again, off a memory stick, so I can live with that. Yeah, this, we'll show you it anyway. I mean, there's so many games on it, I can't tell you what does and doesn't function properly, but I guess that comes down to what M2 did, but we'll go with trucks then. This doesn't have sound. Shame. See? Not that you would think I was lying. Shame, because this is a great shooter. As I said, I believe Turtles may have the same problem. I've seen other people say it. Right, return to main menu. We'll have a look at one more game, and then I'm going to round up. Wrong button, Dave. So it's not the most beautiful looking menu screen, but as I said, it's to do, I guess, how many games it can hold on one screen at one time, and why would you want a complete list of everything, because that would be scrolling forever. Mickey's Ultimate and Primetime NFL Stars. Would have preferred it just said A to B, B to C, etc, 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 you know what I mean, or A to B1. Fantasy Star, no, we'll give you a miss, although I quite like you. Oh, Primal Rage. Pac-Mania. Let's go with Outrun. Oh, I forgot, because I've pressed reset. That means my backgrounds have... Hey, if you like backgrounds, good for you. I think they're horrible. Why wouldn't you want black and white? This is a very underrated port of the game as well. Wrong button, Dave. PC Engine version's better, but hey. But then having said that, I wonder if they're going to do a True Blue Mini for the PC Engine. I hope so, because it's out next month, isn't it? And I've got mine on order. See? Sounds alright. Shouldn't there be another car by now? Maybe he's not running it properly. Maybe I should get a white stick. Oh well, like I said, I don't know how perfectly everything runs on here. Let's try another game. Skip to the end. Return to main menu. I'm assuming, yeah, any quit to get. I'm assuming that's where that crap kicks back in. Just my own sake of mind. Let's. There we go. Mortal Kombat, Mortal Kombat 3. Just trying to pick a game I know how well it runs. Screw it, let's go with Mortal Kombat. No, let's go with New Zealand Story. One of my favourite arcade games of all time. I don't think there's a bad port of this. I mean, I can't notice anything wrong with the sound. Maybe you can. Sweet. Pause. Well, there you go. One more game. One more game. I know. I keep saying one more. Turn to main menu. Yes. See what I did there? So yeah, I mean, people saying, why didn't you wait till there's a proper hack where you don't have to do anything, you can add it yourself. I don't even know how big the memory is on this, for one thing, so you're not obviously going to be able to have a full set, are you? If you do it off internal memory. Do you know I've never played Dick Tracy? Dragon. I really like this, yeah, it resets your background. Awkward. Hello. I mean, it was trying something different, wasn't it? In a world of Street Fighter clones, so can't knock it. I quite like it, to be honest. I'm shite at it. Yeah, it seems to be running fine. We're not really here about me just playing a ton of games. Just want to give you an overview of how the basic, system works. Anyway, let's go back to the other room and round up. So there you go. Once you power it up, it goes into Genesis mode by default. I'm assuming that's because most of these ROMs are Genesis ROMs, and any ones that aren't available in North America would therefore be the Japanese ROMs and the PAL UK or European ROMs, I would say. But they all run at 60 Hz as far as I can tell. By all means, this is an overview. Anything I've got wrong here, feel free to correct me in the comment section down below. Now, it starts off, it displays 100-ish games per screen, but anyway, it starts off in Genesis mode, and what you do is you press, if you press B, it will go between Asia Megadrive, Japanese Megadrive, UK Megadrive, and Genesis, but it doesn't change the box out or anything like that, it just changes the screen around the outside. But if you go to C, press settings, and then you get a number of options, and basically you get the first four I mentioned were, Genesis, PAL, Japanese, and Asia. Now, I didn't show it to you in that video, but I can confirm selecting Genesis works fine. Selecting PAL Megadrive, you get Megadrive games. If you click on the Asia one or the Japanese one, it doesn't do anything, but I'm assuming that's probably because they, for the majority of it, or what they thought you were probably interested in, again, I could be wrong, is Genesis and Megadrive, PAL Megadrive game list. But yeah, once you're in there, it's fine. It's about 100 games per screen. I don't know if that's the limit of how many it can display. But also, outside those four, you get a number of tiles where it shows you the Megadrive on a Mega CD with a 32X. I'm not sure. Maybe they just wanted to show you the tower power. But I would have preferred literally letters saying A to B, B to C, etc, etc, etc. But they're all in there. They're all in there. Obviously, I guess it's split it up due to the number it can display on the screen at any one time. They all seem to run absolutely fantastic, perfectly on the money, as if they were already installed into the machine. But then I guess all the machine essentially is doing is reading ROMs itself. So I like it. I really, really like it. It's kind of cool that it boots into the Genesis mode, because obviously if you have a UK one straight out of the box, you can access Japanese ROMs, but you can't actually access the Genesis ROMs. But if you had a Genesis one, you could access the UK PAL ROMs. But that's nothing to do with this stick. That's to do with, what it's like factory settings. So I kind of like, the fact that it boots into Genesis. As I said, you can display change the display around the top and stuff like that. All your functionality for save states and stuff like that and settings works exactly as it did before. I think it's absolutely fantastic. I really do. I think it's a bargain for the money. There are a couple of games that have issues, such as Turtles, which has no sound, and Truxton has no sound. I don't know how many games are affected by that. I'm just assuming that some games don't emulate properly with whatever M2 did on the hardware, but pretty much I think it's absolutely fantastic. I know I keep saying that. I'm a broken word. Take a shot every time I do, but it's wonderful. Again, people say, but you could, wait for a free hack to come out and then get all the games yourself and stuff like that. I know games on the Mega Drive are far smaller than PlayStation ROMs, and so therefore, having unrestricted internet isn't really a problem anymore. But it still comes down to it would take you a considerable amount of time to locate all these ROMs and get them, and these people did it all for you. And I'm assuming that obviously box art and stuff like that had to be found as well to make sure that the menus looked compliant with it at a factory level and stuff like that. Like I said, selecting the games on that screen where it's broken down into a number of icons is to do with the number of games it can display on the screen at any one time. But then having said that, if you had a complete and utter list just going on and on and on and on for, you know, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of ROMs, probably makes sense that they've done it this way. So, you know, to round up, it depends on what you want. Are you lazy? You want quick access to stuff like that, and you don't think 20-25 quid is a lot of money? It's absolutely fantastic. Absolutely make sure, though, as I said at the start of the video, you do not lose this, because I don't know why, or how this is different from the one that comes with the unit or any micro USB, but apparently it is. So do not lose that. Guard that with your life if you want to sell it, because obviously you can't sell it on with pre-installed ROMs, can you? Wink wink, nudge nudge, cough, maybe you can. But the point is, you know, some people would like it as, you know, factory fresh, if you will. So yeah, it's you know, it's what you want. Quick, easy access to a lot of games. The menu, tad clunky, but it's not a deal breaker. All options are in there still for display, stuff like that, getting rid of backgrounds, adding scan lines, things like that, save states. It just runs as it would, only you've got a ton more games. I think it's absolutely fantastic, and I would thoroughly recommend it to anyone out there, especially if you're like me and you think this is the greatest console of all time. Now you pretty much got a complete library. So anyway, as always, I'd love to know what you think, particularly if you have said stick. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later.